Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly. I'm the maker behind this channel. I talk about my knitting, my crochet, some sewing, and some other things along the way, and this is my space where I can share all of my passions with all of you. Today I have a lot of knitted finished objects to share with you all, some that I've been working on for a long time and some that I just started. So let's get into it. We will start with what I am wearing. So this is the Lily Top by Alexander Yumiko, I believe. Just stand up to give you a good view of it all. It is a lace top worked flat. So you work first panel, then back panel, seam together, and then you're supposed to work the sleeves flat too. However, I did some modifications and just seamed everything together first and then knit them in the round because I was sick of purling. Here we go. Here's the back. So this top, I started January 17th and I finished yesterday, which was, today's Friday, yesterday was Wednesday, I don't know, February something. And for the most part, I enjoyed making this. I actually learned that I really love doing lace because of this pattern. What I didn't like, I think, was just the construction of it all and how it was knit flat, and I know most people enjoy knitting in the round, and so do I. It's just like that purling kind of gets annoying. But it was nice because I used up some stash yarn for this. So I used the We Are Knitters Cotton colorway copper. I think I only used like maybe a ball and a half of that, and I still have like 2 or 3 balls left in my stash, so I have to figure out what to do for that. Oh, and if I didn't say already, all of these patterns that I'm talking about today are going to be linked down below in the description box if you want to check them out. Some other modifications that I did for this is it is worked bottom up, and so you cast on and then straight away get into the lace. I found that like really tricky for some reason to just like work lace straight off of casting on. So I did 2 rows of garter stitch before starting the lace, and it just gave me this a little bit more structure to go off of the lace. I have not blocked this one yet. I just had to get into wearing it straight away, but I do plan on blocking it tonight, and I don't think I've ever blocked 100% just cotton yarn before, so I'm interested to see how that will go. I do plan on taking some like pictures of it not blocked and then pictures post blocking to see how much it changes like on my body and laying flat. So maybe I can share that with you all. I'll insert some pictures if I did it before posting this video. I would absolutely love to make this again. However, I would like to make it into a dress version. I don't think it would be that heavy because it is so lace, and like even this top, I barely feel it on me even though it is cotton. Yeah, I'd like to make like a mini dress version of this, but no sleeves. And so I would start bottom up, knit in the round, just do all the way until I have to split for like the sleeves here, and then just knit separately for the front and back panel, and then seam the shoulders. And again, take off the sleeves because as I was trying it on, it was without the sleeves. I really loved the look out of it. I was almost tempted to just not do sleeves, but I'm glad I did because now it's kind of more, I can wear it spring and fall and summer as well, and it kind of makes it easier to wear around the year with these sleeves, even though they are lace and it doesn't provide much warmth whatsoever. But yeah, hopefully I can make a dress version of this, and maybe in a more neutral color, or even black. Well, no, black's kind of hard. I was gonna say a black one, but then you have to have a slip underneath, and it would be kind of hard to see any of the stitch details, but that still would be really pretty, I think. But yeah, I'd love to do it in maybe like a linen cotton blend, and yeah, we'll see if I get to that this year or not, but it'll be in my list of items to knit, the growing list of items to knit that will never end and just gets longer and longer every day, because I add about 5 items to it every day. Okay, we will go on to the next finished object I have here. Now, this one is one you haven't seen, because I finished this guy in a week. I started it not last Saturday, the Saturday before, and then finished it Saturday. So it took me 7 days. It was just a really quick knit. I did have this one on my 2023 knitting plans. Oh, and same with this one as well. So it's been feeling really good to have these plans and sticking to them and crossing some items off my list that I've really wanted to knit and to have in my wardrobe. So this next piece is this Colette tee by Witre Design, and hopefully I'm saying that right. But again, it is linked below, and I'll insert some footage of me wearing this so I don't have to put it on now. But here she is. It is just a really like simple raglan t-shirt. It's got the mock neck, which I love wearing a mock neck. I find it extremely flattering. And it's just kind of got like longer sleeves too, which I love the look of that. I went for a more cropped version, so it hits just below where my pants end. And I didn't knit a swatch for this one. I just kind of went for it, and it turned out to fit me perfectly. I just went off of my measurements and what they suggested. I used Sadness Garn's Duo yarn for this in dark powder rose, and I only used about like 3.75 balls of this, so it was like pretty affordable make for me, which is really nice. And I do plan on knitting more of these because I found just this shape is so classic. It's a perfect staple piece for the wardrobe, and because it just was such a quick knit and enjoyable. It was, you know, stockinette other than the ribbing, and I really enjoyed it. And because recently I had just been doing like a lot of mosaic knitting and then some other more complicated things, I was just really craving like a quick, fast stockinette in the round, let's go. And that's exactly what I needed, and I think that's why I finished this so fast, because I was listening to what my knitting soul wanted, and it craved this. And yeah, I could not be happier with this top. So I'm thinking my next one, I really loved working with Sadness Garn Duo yarn. That was my first time working with it, any Sadness Garn actually, and I fell in love with it. I just want to make more and more with it. I think next one, I don't know what I should make. I kind of want a more neutral color, just since this one's like, you know, not neutral. And then I can have, I don't know, more pieces to go with it and just like add some bright shawls to it. What's really annoying is that the first day I wore this, I was eating chocolate and I got chocolate on it. And it's right there. I think I can get it out, but super annoying. It's like I never get chocolate on anything else, and then the one day I wear my finished object, I get chocolate on it. Whatever. I'm just not going to eat chocolate while I'm wearing my newly finished pieces anymore. I've learned my lesson. Every time I was little and I had hot chocolate, I'd be wearing white, and every single time without fail, I'd just pour the entire cup of hot chocolate on me. So it's like the adult version of that, but with my knitting. I can see that happening. So I'm just gonna cut myself off from chocolate when I'm wearing knits going forward. Anyways, yeah, I definitely plan to make more of these. Loved it so much. I might even like change up the sleeves a little bit, make some, maybe go a little bit longer or even shorter. I don't know, there's just so much to do with a basic pattern like this. I found that this was super flattering and I loved it. But yeah, my next one, I was looking at the green colors from Sadness Garden Duo, or just kind of like a nice creamy beige would be a perfect staple too. I just find it's really hard to purchase like a neutral beige or cream online because in my city, at least at the yarn stores, they don't really, there's not a whole lot of Sadness Garden. If there is, it's the Double Sunday, and I want the Duo for this one. And yeah, I just find like it's hard to see on the computer screen what kind of beige or cream you're gonna get. It can be like quite deceiving, as it is with many colors, but I found with this one it was quite accurate to what I saw online, so I was pleased with that. And I'm sure like many of you have experienced before, just like being totally shocked by what you see online than what you get in the mail as far as color goes for your yarn. So I was really pleased with what I got with this one, and happy that there were no unpleasant surprises and it was exactly what I ordered. So yeah, that I think was one of my fastest knits for me. I just could not stop with this guy. So it was really fun process knitting, and to have the finished object and to wear it. I love wearing it each time. I cannot wait to make another one. Okay, I'll save what I think is the best for last, and we'll go into the next one, which is, there we go, right there. So you've been seeing it, and that is the, what is it called? Nanaimo Cardigan by Good Night Day, I believe. I think they're based in BC, and I used Wool and the Gang's Crazy Sexy Wool for this one. I started it back in, I think it was July, and then I just finished it like in 1 week a couple weeks ago. I've talked about this one before, but it's chunky yarn. I hate working with chunky yarn. I hate working on thick needles. I know that's what most people say. It kills your hands. It's just like, it's not fun. Well, for me anyway. It was not a fun knit. I absolutely hated knitting it, not because of the pattern whatsoever. It was a great pattern. It was well written. It's just, again, the yarn. So not a fun knit whatsoever, but I do love the finished object, and it's going to be I've already worn it as a jacket for myself, and I cannot wait to wear it this fall and even this spring. I know I'm not a huge fan of chunky knits myself, and I do know that in like some areas of knitting they're super popular, maybe more with like more beginner knitters, and then I hear a lot of maybe more like intermediate, advanced, or more experienced knitters bashing the chunky knits a lot. And yeah, I tend to gravitate towards like not liking the chunky yarns, but I really like this one, and it spoke to me when I saw it on Pinterest. I just loved the look of it with the collar, and I thought like just the color and the simple stocking net with the chunky yarn made it look kind of, I don't know, maybe more elegant than other chunky knits are. But I'll try it on and I'll show you what it looks like. So here she is. I just love this because, like I said, I treat this as a jacket, and the collar is my favorite part. I did modify this slightly by just cropping it because all of my jeans are high-waisted. My belly button's right here, and I wanted it to go just below where the top of my pants are, just because I find that more flattering for myself. Yeah, it's nice because it is a balloon sleeve and then it does like rapid decreasing right at the cuff. I really like it. I think I'll get a lot of wear out of it. I love the color. And what else? Oh yes, I think I bought for what the pattern suggested for my size. So I had 3 balls of the Crazy Sexy wool, and then I was finishing up my sleeves, was running out of yarn. Really didn't want to buy a 4th ball of yarn because it's like $35 for this yarn or something. And yeah, I just like really didn't want to have to order it online and pay shipping, or have to drive to the yarn store and get it. So as I was doing it, I was trying to, what did I do? Anyways, I was about here with my sleeves on either side, and I was really running out of yarn, and I was trying it on, and it actually looked really cute cropped, but it was almost too cropped. Like I would have to end it there with the amount of yarn. However, if I ended it like right here on both sides, if I had enough yarn, it looked so cute that length. Once I did one end, once I got more yarn, I did it to that length, and it looked so cute because it was just like a really cute bell sleeve. And I did consider just shortening it, but then I thought ultimately, like, this is a thick wool coat that I'm using it for, so I don't want to have short sleeves, and I don't always want to have to wear like a long sleeve shirt with this. So I called the yarn store where I got it originally, and thankfully they had 1 ball left, and they're like, and we're not carrying Crazy Sexy wool from Wool in the Gang anymore after this. So I really lucked out with that, scooped up that ball of yarn, and just finished it the way I intended to. I'm glad I didn't take any shortcuts, because although I thought it was cute, I was also just dying to have this done. I'm sure like we've all been there where we just want to take shortcuts on these projects because you're so sick of them, but then it's just like you put so many hours and money into it, it's worth it in my mind to just do it the way you want it to and be happy with it. You'll get a lot more wear, and yeah, I'm happy with this. I won't be making any chunky knits maybe for the rest of my life though, because I hated that. It was honestly like the worst. At one point I was just like, I hate knitting, and I don't, but I did then. So yeah, this is my only chunky jacket. I did buy the whole book for this pattern, but that's okay. Maybe some knitting friends, my one knitting friend will want to borrow it and use some of those patterns. All right, this is a bit too hot for this. Okay, so my final finished object from these last couple weeks is one I've shown a couple times on these style of episodes of the traditional show and tell of knitting. This is the very popular pressed flower shawl by Amy Christoffers or whatever. So here is my shawl. This guy, oh my gosh, it took me forever, and let me just put it up so you can see it. This is usually how I wear it. I've worn it like twice actually. But I think this is how I will be wearing it mostly. And sorry if you hear, my chair is so loud. Every time I get up or move, it just creaks. So sorry about that. Yeah. So I started, this was my birthday cast on, so October 1st of last year is when I started this. So it's taken me a long time, but I'm so glad I did it, because the second I saw it, it was like 2 days before my birthday. The second I saw it, I was like, this is a must. I have to knit this immediately. So yeah, I did. But it was my first time doing mosaic knitting, and yeah, man, it takes a long time. But I use this Mirasol yarn. Let's see, 30% alpaca, 30% linen, and then like 25% bamboo, and then 15% micro tweed. It's DK weight, and yeah, so I did it in this red, and then the same type of yarn for this white, obviously. I did it exactly to pattern, so it's the provisional cast on, and then you Kitchener stitch at the end, which is just for this piece right here, just to make it flat. And then it did call for a sewn bind off, which I started doing, but I really didn't like the look of it, just with the two colors, and maybe that's just me doing something wrong, but it just didn't look clean or tidy. So I just did a regular cast off and tried to be loose with my gauge, and I like it. It got a nice little like red border. I think I maybe did one row less on the border, just because I couldn't take it anymore. I really could not do another row. And like with mosaic knitting, if you haven't done it before, you have to basically knit 2 rows to equal 1 row of knitting. So this is a lot of knitting, but I just feel like it's gonna be that piece that I have in my life forever, and like pass down to any kids I might have, or like my niece, or any, you know, any family member that would like it. And I just love it. I actually haven't, yeah, like I said, I finished it, sorry, I'm just trying to get yarn back in my drawer. I finished it a couple of weeks ago. I've only worn it twice, I think, but now as I'm sitting here with it wrapped around just like this, I really love it. Oh, it's so cute. Yeah, I think I just want to have it out at all times, I think, and wear it as I'm knitting and kind of replace my blanket. But I'll show pictures of it prior to blocking and after blocking, because they're quite drastic. And I was a bit worried because after, like when I finished it and I did the cast off, it was so wavy along the edges, and I was like, oh, did I do the wrong cast off? But after blocking, it was fine. It was perfect, like always. I feel like it's easy to panic before blocking, and then once you block, it's like all of your worries disappear most of the time. So yeah, it's not a great combination for what I'm wearing right now, but it's so cute and it feels so good, and I'm so proud of it, so I'm just gonna keep wearing it. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. If you're looking at this pattern and you've been thinking about mosaic knitting, or you've just been curious about it, I highly recommend it. It's a good one to have if you just want kind of like, I use this mostly as my project to work on in between projects. So kind of just like that little bit of knitting palette cleanser. And that's another reason why it took so long. But I found that this was a great pattern for it, because you could just pick it up whenever. And another good thing with it is I just found like it's so easy to remember the pattern. And yeah, you don't, like for me anyways, I didn't have to look at the chart. Once I got to a couple repeats done, it was like pretty easy to remember what you were doing. So even if you don't touch this project for a while, it's like super easy to pick back up and just do it without the chart. So I dream of this shawl in other colors, like a brown and white one. Like I think maybe it's Stacy from Stress Knit Yarns or Casey from Young Folk Knits. Either of them, or maybe both of them, I think are doing like a brown and cream or brown and very light pink. And I want one like that too, like so badly. But again, one of these I think is enough for me, at least for a few years, because that was a big project for me anyways. It felt like it took forever, and it was always in the back of my mind. I was just like, I cannot have all of these projects on the go. That was kind of what happened like in the last couple of weeks. I all of a sudden felt like this huge surge of creative like motivation, specifically for knitting, to get a lot of things done. I had so many WIPs lying around, and it just kind of felt like it was weighing on me, even though none of them had deadlines. But I kind of just was craving like working on one, finishing it, moving on to the next, and not feeling so scattered, because every time I would knit, I would work on like 5 projects a day and then get like 10 minutes on each one. And then I felt like I was getting 0 progress done. So all of a sudden something switched in me. I was like, go, 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 go on this jacket back here. Finished it. I was like, on to the next one. Work on this, go, go, go. And then finished it, on to the next one. And I started to see all of this progress happening, and I actually had some finished objects, and I was actually wearing some things, and I was like, oh my God, why have I not been a monogamous knitter before? Like, why was I so scattered? And yeah, now I understand. Like, I would work on like one little project sometimes in between if I got sick of something, but for the most part I was just working solely on one thing, and it felt really good. And now I can understand why, because for me anyways, I see progress so much faster that way. And yeah, and then I was like just randomly cast on the Colette tee and then finished that in a week. I only worked on this. I did not touch anything else. And then I was like, I've got one more top in my WIPS bag. Let's get it done. And that was the Lily. Now she's done. And so, yeah, I just felt like I wanted to take advantage of all of this like creative motivation and energy I had towards knitting. And I'm really glad I did, because now I just feel a lot more organized and excited again about making all of the things that I had on my list for my 2023 plans, and some other things too that I've recently discovered. Yeah, so that's it for finished objects. We will go into we'll go into the WIPs next, and I don't have them here. One second, let me go. Okay. We will start with the oldest WIP. I'm making some socks for my partner. Here they are. This is my first pair of socks, actually. I never had the desire to knit socks until this year. I got this beautiful yarn in St. John's, Newfoundland, when I was there visiting his family and there for a wedding. And this yarn it's from Windswept Fibers and Design, and it's the Woodsy Boil Up, I think it's called, or yeah, Woodsy Boiled Up. It's a 75 superwash merino and 25% nylon. It's just your regular sock yarn, and the reason why I wanted this is because it's hand dyed in Newfoundland, St. John's, so I thought it would be a cool yarn to get as a souvenir. So this is definitely my boyfriend's color palette, so I went, yeah, I thought I'd knit up these socks. I bought the yarn not intending to knit socks for him out of it, and then I had the yarn for a few months, and I just thought, yeah, it's sock yarn, let's make some socks. And it's perfect for him. So I'm just using the like the vanilla sock pattern from Crazy Sock Lady. So I'm doing that. And then my next WIP is crochet, actually. And I don't think this one's gonna get done anytime soon because I'm just not feeling crochet lately. Because I just overdid it with crochet last year. Anyway, I am just crocheting in the round. I'm not using a pattern, but I wanted to crochet a basket, a big old basket, to go underneath this one little like side table I have, to just put all of my project bags in it. So I'm using the Lions brand Rewind yarn, and I'm not sure the color, but it's just the olive green, and using a 6mm hook. Just gonna crochet in the round until I maybe like this big, and then go on up and maybe include some like cute little handles that are just like slits on the side, so they're not actual like hook handles, you know? So yeah, this one will probably be around for a while. I don't mind that being an ongoing WIP because I don't really care about it. So it's fine if it sits there. Oh, sorry. I'm talking a lot. Okay, my final WIP. It's crazy to have only like 3 little WIPs on the go that are just kind of like fun to work on when I don't want to work on big projects. And I don't have any big projects yet because I just casted this off yesterday. And then I started, okay, so my next one is another sock. And this is the DK Weight Vanilla Sock by Crazy Sock Lady. And I'm just starting the slip stitch heel flap. I am using Things Created Equal yarn. It's hand dyed in Alberta, which is cool. I casted this on yesterday. I just really all of a sudden, because I said I never had a desire to knit socks, but then I just like really wanted pink socks, and looking at all this fun like yarn, and socks are just such a great way to play with color and be adventurous with it. And I also really want to do socks for everybody this Christmas. So I thought, you know, this is a great practice to get into socks. So that's all I have. But it's knitting up really beautifully. I love the color here. I love these darker like burgundy. Oh, it's so pretty. So yeah, this will be the front. Here's the heel flap. But it's been kind of fun. Oh yeah, and I'm knitting both of them on magic loop. It's been, I'm enjoying it. I hope I just know I'm kind of the type of person that would finish the one sock and then not get to the other to finish the pair. So I really hope I don't do that. I'm gonna just try and immediately cast on the second one after finishing the first one, because if I don't, I'm just gonna have one sock for a very, very long time, maybe even forever. So yeah, that concludes all my WIPs. It feels really good to have finished off a lot of things and have some things off my needles that have been ongoing for a long time. So we'll get into the acquisition / what I plan to make next. And this design was in my 2023 knitting plans video, and that is the what's it called? It's by Jessie Maed, the like crop top worsted version. Again, it'll be linked down below. But I got this beautiful green yarn by Cascade Yarns. It's the Ultra Pima, and it is the colorway, let's see, well, it's 3868. Yeah, there's no color name, but the color number is 3868. It's 100% cotton, DK weight. And I thought this would be perfect for the, oh, maybe it's the ripple crop top, maybe? I think that's what it is. So I did show in a previous video that I was making it with this yarn. And I only had enough yarn to make the size extra small, and I knit up, like it's bottom up knit, and I split for the V, was doing one side of it, and then I was just like, this is so small, this is not gonna fit me, so I ripped it all back. Now those are going to be socks. I bought enough yarn to do the medium size, because originally I thought I wanted it to be quite form-fitting, but now I saw a sample of it at the yarn store, and on the mannequin it was like nice and loose fitting, and there's some positive ease, and I really liked that look of it, so I decided to go for the size medium, got enough yarn for it, and I believe this will be my next project using this. And then my next acquisition is I got 2 skeins of this from my boyfriend. He was in LA and bought me some yarn, which was so sweet, and it is the Linares Alma. Probably not saying it right. In the colorway Honey Pie. I believe this is hand dyed in LA, and it's 100% non-superwash merino, DK weight, really soft and beautiful. I think, so I've got 2 skeins. I think I have enough to make the Look at My Holes top by James and Watts. So I might make that because I have a really beautiful like midi skirt that would go really well with this. And yeah, that's my plan so far for this. But we'll see, it could change. I had some other things on my mind for it. Maybe even I could get 2 hats out of it. Save one for myself, gift one to my boyfriend. But I'm not sure. We'll see. So that was very sweet and a really nice surprise. And yeah, that's all of my new yarns and acquisitions and plans. Actually, I have one other plan that I'm very excited about. And it is a top by the Knit Purl Girl. I forget the name of the pattern, but I'll just put a picture of it up here. And I believe the suggested yarn is Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. And I haven't used Knitting for Olive Pure Silk before. And I love this top. I love the flared sleeves on it. And I just discovered this top a couple weeks ago. And I would really love to cast that on soon. And I'm definitely going to go with the pure silk for this one. And I think I want to do like the dark olive green color for this top, or maybe even like a neutral darker beige. I'm not really sure, but I thought it would be a perfect top for summer. So hopefully I'll have that on the needle soon, but I think I'm definitely gonna do the ripple crop top first with the yarns I already have. I'm gonna try and use those first and then get on to the other one where I have to buy some yarn. Let's see, I think that's it, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today and going through all of these projects. It's been really fun knitting lately. I have just so much love for this craft. It is like life-changing for me, especially this last year or so. It's really brought a lot to my life. So it's been so fun filming it and sharing it all with you. And just a fun way for me to see it all documented later. One day maybe, we'll see. But yeah, let me know what you guys are knitting up currently. I'd love to see and hear about it and maybe discover some new patterns. I've recently redecorated and organized my spare bedroom, which is like turned into a craft room. But I still have to go through the main closet, but I kind of went through my yarn stash. I took half of it and decided I'm going to donate half of it. Or Milan, if you're watching, I can take a picture of it and you're more than welcome to the yarn. If you don't want it, I'll donate it. And so now I have a really manageable stash that I have plans for everything, and they'll be great for gift knitting as well. I went through all my files and papers and organized all of my sewing patterns and knitting and crochet patterns, and it feels really good to have a space that's organized where I can feel like I can be creative. So that's been a huge motivation for working more on some things too. But yeah, maybe I'll show a little tour of the craft room for the end here, just so you guys can see. And I have some before pictures I'll put up, and then I'll show you the after. But yeah, anyways, I'll end it there because I'll just start rambling. So if you've made it this far, thanks again so much for watching. If you liked it, please consider liking the video and subscribing if you haven't already, or commenting down below and let me know what you're currently working on, knitting, crochet, sewing, whatever it is. I'd love to see it or hear about it. All right, thank you so much, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.